Bit 16, you've never seen a review like this. Weird old games you cannot tame, this world that you miss. SNES Man is the champion, he is 16-bit. SNES Man is the champion, he is 16-bit.
Hello, my name is SNES Man. Today's game is the classic adventure, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. This game is pretty famous because for once you get to play as Yoshi instead of Mario. And I'm not talking about riding around on him, you get to run around as Yoshi. So, let's get down to gaming and see why everyone likes this so much. Here's our intro cutscene. A long time ago, when baby Mario and Luigi were being carried to their parents by a stork, because that's totally how nature works, the evil wizard Kamek swooped in on his broomstick and snatched Luigi. Kamek did this because he's pretty much a douchebag. Anyway, in all the craziness, baby Mario fell to the ground where he was discovered by a pack of Yoshis. The Yoshis decided to save the babies and return them home to their rightful families. And that's our story. Here's the first level playing as Yoshi, carrying baby Mario on his back. Yoshi is a pretty strong character because he can eat enemies and turn them into eggs. Then you can press A to throw the eggs at your enemies and cause plenty of destruction. You can aim them in any direction, so they'll usually be your weapon of choice. You're only allowed to carry 7 eggs at a time, which is a bit limited, but luckily, it's always easy to get more. Now, please don't ask me that tired old question, is Yoshi a boy or a girl? If he's a dude, why does he lay eggs? Look, Nintendo doesn't know the answer, so neither should we. And if you want to get to sleep at night, don't ask that question. Never mind. Back to how Yoshi controls. Another thing you'll notice right away is that his jump is a lot different than Mario's. This game invented a move called the flutter jump. How it works is you hold down the jump button and Yoshi can stay in the air a little longer, defying gravity and all manner of physics. It sounds like a tiny little gimmick, but it actually changes how you play the game, giving you a lot better control of Yoshi in the air. No more worrying about making it to the next ledge or plummeting into the lava below. Now you can count on your little second jump to get you out of those tight spots. So, what is baby Mario's role in this game? Well, for the most part, he's just an annoyance. If Yoshi gets hit by an enemy, he'll lose Mario, who floats away in a bubble. And if you don't run after the baby and catch him before a timer runs out, then Kamek's minions will swoop in and steal him and you lose a life. This really irritates me. Chasing after a baby in a bubble while it yells at you, "Wah, wah," isn't my idea of a heroic adventure. If I wanted to put up with that, I would work at a daycare and at least get paid minimum wage. This is a game, it's supposed to be fun. Well, I'm kind of exaggerating this. And other than this, Yoshi's Island doesn't have too many frustrations. What are the levels like in Yoshi's Island? They're pretty great. Don't be fooled by the childish graphics. This is a challenging game with lots of puzzle elements and some really big, complex levels. You're not going to blaze through the whole thing in an hour because it takes a lot of exploring to find out where you're supposed to go, especially in the castles. The combat can be a bit challenging too. Sometimes you need to smack the enemies with a lot of eggs to kill them, or use a special strategy like ground pounding them. The bosses are pretty well made. Each one has a special weakness that you have to figure out, just like in Zelda. They all look really cartoonish. The game's sense of humor is pretty refreshing. An enormous obese clown, you say? Awesome! A ghost in a pot? Badass! An evil frog's stomach? Legendary! And of course there are some just plain weird levels like the famous Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy. Here, you have to watch out for a bunch of puffball enemies because if you hit one, you don't get hurt. No, that would be too merciful. Instead, Yoshi starts tripping like he just took a hit of acid. It's like the drunk scene in Dumbo and you can barely control him. I'm guessing Yoshi's Island was trying to make this level into an anti-drug PSA. Kids, say no to fuzzies. Another weird part of the levels is the Yoshi vehicles. For really short sections of the game, Yoshi can magically turn into a car, a plane, a submarine, and even a mole. I like the submarine because it fires missiles, but the other forms kind of annoy me. You're always under a strict time limit when you use them, so you can't relax or get used to them. You can also play as baby Mario a couple times when he gets a star, which is pretty cool because for once Mario's helping out in the adventure instead of being a nuisance. Still, I feel like all these weird little parts of the game could have been done better. They need to be longer and give you more freedom, not this constrictive time limit crap. And a mole? Really? Does anyone prefer digging up dirt to playing as Yoshi? No, they don't. I really liked the music and the sounds in this game. Well, except the baby noises, of course. Shut up. The music is really cheerful and catchy on the overworld levels. Even years after playing the game, it's still easy to remember that kind of melody. The castle theme is pretty similar to Super Mario World's castle theme, except it's faster and it has a waltz feel. So how does this game stack up to the first Super Mario World? That's actually a matter of opinion. I preferred the first one because it had so many more levels, it had fun power-ups like the cape, and it was just simple classic Mario platforming that I never get tired of. Still, I do realize that Yoshi's Island made a lot of improvements. The graphics are way more detailed and fancy, the levels are more complex and challenging, and it was pretty creative how they turned Yoshi into a real hero instead of a glorified horse like he had always been before. Yoshi's Island is a big step in the Mario series, even if Mario isn't the lead character. For example, it invented the flutter jump, and it brought back Shy Guys from Super Mario Bros. 2, making them important enemies in the series. So it's up to interpretation if Super Mario World or Yoshi's Island is better.
Things to make it better.
Improve the vehicle segments. These are too short and awkward to be as good as they could have been. Alter the Baby Mario damage system so it's not as annoying, or at least get rid of the stupid crying sound effect. Get rid of one-hit deaths on spikes or lava. This isn't Mega Man, show some mercy! Overall, Yoshi's Island is an excellent game, though. It has minor flaws, but that doesn't ruin the fact that it's a classic platformer, one of the best on the Super Nintendo. On my scale, it scores a 9 out of 10. I'd recommend it to everyone. So that's Yoshi's Island, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Before you go, I'd like to take a second to talk to you about my show. It's probably pretty obvious to you guys that I've been way slower than in the past, and I'm sorry about that. As I've said before, I have a lot of responsibilities that I didn't have when I started the show 5 years ago. And so progress is going to stay slow, but that doesn't mean I'm done with SNES Man. I'm still SNES Man, and I'll talk to you again sometime soon.